movies, like theater, like drama, has to continue to evolve. And so doing the same thing slavishly over and over again, well, that may be okay if you're in a technical field like medicine where you're doing hip replacements, but even that technology evolves. So because psychotherapy and psychotherapists recognize the necessity for keeping a growing edge, then people are interested in learning more about integrating approaches, and they're not so doctrinaire anymore.
That says a lot. That says a lot. Is there any issue? I mean, there's a language barrier. Do you do everything in English, or do you? Okay.
Yeah, but
I mean, you were just in Turkey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost beyond my scope to think that. Yeah, I hate to sound biased, but I just wouldn't picture Turkey being.
Oh no, I've got a training group there.
Avant-garde, if you will.
I'm going to Turkey regularly. I could go to Turkey many, many times each year. They're fascinated. You know, Kemal Ataturk was one of the great leaders in Western civilization, I think, and he changed the shape of Turkey and moved people out of the traditional Middle Eastern dress into Western dress. Everybody in Turkey, looks like a fashion show, like a parrot fashion show. Everybody's beautifully dressed, and there are many fundamental and growing fundamentalism in Turkey, but there's a fascination with learning about psychotherapy. And
I wouldn't think that psychotherapy would be real popular with Hezbollah and the Taliban, and
Turkey's not that kind of fundamentalist Arab state. So there are fundamental influences, and yes, there are mosques and people who are dressing in more traditional Muslim garb, but you don't see people in complete full Muslim garb. That's very unusual in Turkey. Most everybody is dressed in Western clothes, and it's a very democratic approach to society, and they're interested in bringing things. But also Taiwan, there was no history in Taiwan of psychotherapy, and no history in China of psychotherapy, no history in Japan or Korea, but those places have become interested in bringing psychotherapy because they recognize that there's an approach that works.
So communist China is open to psychotherapy?
Yes. Yeah, they have been doing many projects. Many of my friends from Germany have been working with the universities in China. But probably if you had a dart and you threw that dart at a globe and you hit a major city in China, you'd be somewhere where an American therapist is doing training, or a European therapist is doing training. They're fascinated. They really want to learn because they recognize, listen, if you have an earthquake and people are traumatized and you don't have a technology to help those people to deal with the trauma, the long-term economic impact of that is absolutely enormous. So when there are people to help dealing with stress and people to help to deal with trauma, family relationship problems, my God, they would be non-intelligent if they didn't bring in this technology, and they are bringing in the technology.
This may sound grandiose, or it may sound appropriate, but is there a connection between peace on earth and the advancement of psychotherapy?
I would hope. I hope there's between spirituality and meditation and mindfulness training and psychotherapy, that the trunk of that tree is that we look for ways in which we build hope and we build strength and we build the capacity for people to be a little more altruistic and a little more oriented towards how to work together communally in order to make things better for everybody. How can we create a win-win situation for everybody rather than situations in which we're continually stepping over people's shoulders in order to project ourselves ahead? So I think that there's altruism. Altruism exists in nature. If there's a flock of birds in a tree and a predator comes, there's one bird who calls out, and that warns the flock, but that bird then may become a target for the predator. So altruism is built into the human system, but also so is, some greed and avarice. So I hope that as we evolve, we build more of those altruistic parts, and psychotherapy is one of many movements to try to bring that form of consilience to human nature.
It's just a wonderful thing for me to see. It's like psychotherapy. It's like a snake shedding its skin. Psychotherapy is getting new life and strength from this broadening and expansion that you personally are spearheading.
Well, I'm one of many. But thanks so much for the interview, and really my best to you in your work. And appreciate what you're doing and adding to this conspiracy and making it work even
I'm
better.
learning. I'm here as a student. Thank you very much, Dr. Jeffrey Zeig, for joining us on Louisville Late Night.
Really a pleasure.
We so happy we alive, we together can survive.
We are just a shell of another self, of another self. Whose priority is to live and learn, yet to let it be. But those we get trapped in, we're kinda stiff, get kinda thin. So we gaze through the atmosphere, in our hearts we hear.